And it looks like we're going to be ready to get this started. All right, we're going to get us kicked off here at FNB Field. Paul Miller and Tom Davis for the Nightly News. And we're looking forward to an action-packed second game for the Knights. Can we bring it home? Both games of a doubleheader. The first pitch, Colby Edwards over the plate.
And we're underway.
Up here is going to be number 27, Joe Ackroyd. Edwards has some excellent stuff here. He's got a good fastball, excellent movement on some of his secondary pitches, and a nice curveball as well. Edwards started a game earlier this season. This is his second appearance. Only made it 2 innings. That was on a previous broadcast and allowed 4 runs. So let's hope he's got a little bit better control today here in this second contest.
Well, he looks pretty poised out there on the mound.
Well, I mean, imagine what this must feel like in you know, essentially one of his last games as a collegiate athlete, to pitch here when so many amazing players have played on this field at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the lights are starting to take effect. It's like playing a night game here, minor league stadium, senior night.
Knights moved to
pretty full house.
Knights moved to 10-10 on the season with that first victory. It's going to be outside, and Ackroyd quickly walks. We're going to echo the keys to victory here in Game 2. The keys to victory are most certainly keeping that leadoff runner off of first. You know, the first batter of every inning, that's a recipe for disaster. The second is, let's see how our infield defense is. This time around, they didn't really have a lot of opportunities that first time.
There's a strike.
Big strike there, 13. Galtieri's hitting the 2-hole today.
Yeah, really sizable crowd filling in here now. It's wonderful, lots of youngsters.
Well, I mean, free entertainment. There he goes. Finky a good throw, but Ackroyd in there with the steal. So,
good throw by Finky there. Runner just beat it.
Finky's got a laser. What a crowd here. I mean, honestly, and I'm going to be totally honest, I'm not just saying this. This rivals some early season Senators games in terms of the number of folks here. Galtieri squares.
I do believe this is the largest crowd I've seen for a Central Penn game, personally.
I don't know to what extent records are kept about that, but I would concur. I do recall seeing a game here with you very early on, and we had a really nice crowd that day, but nothing like this. That must have been 2017.
Again, the X factor being the weather. We have actually a really good weather day today.
Beautiful day, 67 degrees here at the first pitch. Can Colby Edwards find the plate here, down 3-1? And that's going to be outside, and he's going to walk the first 2 batters.
Rather inauspicious beginning to game number 2 here. First 2 runners are on.
Yeah. Now batting number 11, Zachary Fidelibus.
Fidelibus, the senior from Aston, Pennsylvania. The outfielder. Around the infield, you've got Zerby at first, Owen Zell at second, Boyer at short, Kevon Davis at third.
I guess the signs from the third base coach. Wonder if there's some movement about to happen on the base path.
Well, after that first game, you might want to pull out all the stops here. Beautiful pitch right down Broadway for Colby Edwards. Edwards has been on the Knights for several seasons now. Of course, they didn't have to lose a year of eligibility during the shortened 2020 season. That had some really nice movement. Edwards not happy with that call.
Just off the inside, apparently.
The 1-1. Walked the first two, so a good at bat, a good pitch to this hitter would be really needed. Just low.
Call the ball downstairs. We do have a different umpire for games.
Yeah, they usually do switch, so it's also then interesting to see how the strike zone could change.
Exactly.
He seems like he's a little bit squeezing a little bit in comparison to the first game. And there is a shot to center. Roman's got a beat on it, though. Routine play for Roman. Great catch.
Important first out of the inning.
Bond up to the plate now. Nice to see Owen Zell in the game. He's absolutely been an extremely important cog in this lineup.
Absolutely. I'm sure he and I will have a nice discussion about the game in class on Monday.
Yeah, it is definitely very unique how we do have some of these gentlemen in class and how we do get to speak with them about that.
Mm-hmm.
Boyer keeping his eye on the runner at second, Ackroyd. A flare down the line, but that's out of play. Quickly 2 strikes from Edwards. .66 degrees, 0 wind. Probably one of the nicer days of the year at this point. We miss you being out here. And there's a shot to center, but again, Roman's got a beat on it and quickly makes out number 2.
So 2 walks followed by 2 flyouts to center.
Gary Antes, the pitcher in the first contest, only made it 2 1/3. Allowed 5 earned.
Well, he'll stand in here looking to turn it around on offense.
First and second, 2 down, top 1. It's a 0-0 score here at FNB Field as the Knights take on Williamson Trade. They won 16-0 in that first game.
This umpire seems to be one of those slightly delayed call umpires.
I remember when I was in Little League, I had somebody like that, and it really intimidated me because it got me out of my routine.
Mm-hmm. I had that experience as well.
I'll never forget that. I can still remember his face.
Big swing and a miss there.
And we just started this one, so if you're in the area, come on by, free admission. What a pitch. Colby Edwards, after walking 2 flyouts and a strikeout. And we're going to go to the bottom of the first. It's 0-0 here in game 2.
The Central Penn College app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. Stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with the built-in calendar function and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
We'll be back in just a minute. We are back here at FNB Field. Paul Miller, Tom Davis for the nightly news. Owen Zell up to the plate. Owen Zell has been, Owen Zell's been extremely impressive this year with a .326 average and a .483 on base percentage. Leads the team with 17 runs, has 15 hits, 10 steals. So that .483 on base and those 10 steals, Zell is one of the key players for the Knights offense, especially if we want to get a good start here.
Okay.
On the mound for
here, 3-0.
On the mound for Williamson Trade is number 7 Kyle Marshall, the freshman, also from Springfield, PA, home of the wonderful, legendary Simpsons family. You didn't know they were from Pennsylvania.
You learned something.
I'm teaching you something today. Does get a strike there. I sent somebody up to come get that.
Well, you're welcome. Here's the 2 with the...
Zell the base hit and takes second.
Now batting third baseman, number 2, Yvonne Davis.
Davis up to the plate. Yvonne Davis on the season, .278. Only 1 RBI. 10 hits and 36 at-bats.
7 stolen bases.
7 steals.
Heading to the parking lot. Stays in the seats.
Quickly 2 strikes on Davis. Straight back.
Oh, 2 count now to Davis. No relation. Floated that curveball up there. I don't think he could resist swinging at that.
And that is going to be the first out as Davis pops out to short. Shais Roman now up to the plate. Roman had a big first game.
Center fielder, number 37, Shais Roman.
Roman 2 for 3, 2 steals and an RBI, and also reached base on a walk.
This is exactly who you want up in this situation.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but definitely a change of pace in Marshall for Williamson than Gariantes in the first game.
Here he goes. What a great jump down the third. And that will play the run for Central Penn. Throw goes down the line.
Zell, the steal and the run, and that makes it 1-0 here early for the Knights.
And that's what speed on the base pass.
Roman down on strikes there, a rare sight. Zach Boyer to the plate.
Number 14, Zach Boyer.
And Boyer at short here in game 2, played second in game 1. Didn't really have much of an opportunity to do a lot on that infield.
Pretty nice backdoor slider the pitcher just threw there. changeup in the dirt.
Definitely looking for Williamson to have a more even contest here, and it looks like Marshall's got quite a bit more control than some of the first pitchers. Of course, as I say that, he throws the ball.
He's already in the hole now, down 1-0. Got a big, important first run. Spins a curveball outside. Moves to 3-1 on Boyer. With Hunter Finke on deck. He will take a walk. So Boyer's on with 2 down.
Now batting number 58, catcher Hunter Finke.
Yeah, Finke! Mr. Hunter!
Finke this year, 263, no home runs, no RBIs, 5 hits, and 19 at bats. So can absolutely swing the ball, or swing the bat. I suppose he could probably swing the ball too, but
if he put his mind to it. Bench starts chanting for Finke.
and a shot to right. That's going to be right at the right fielder, and that's going to do it.
I wonder
But
what the exit velocity on that one was.
probably pretty high. But that's going to do it for the Knights. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left, and we're going to go to the top of the second, and the Knights lead 1-0.
All right, everybody, the first base side is the place to be.
And we'll be right back.
Mascot race.
All right, we are back here in the top of the second. Edwards back to work, did walk
Now
2.
batting, third baseman number 6, Dylan Martino.
Marantino here up to bat. Looked like we got a peek of ex-Knight Christian Fulp walking by.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Only about 2 feet in front of you.
Really?
Yeah. We'll have to rewind that and catch up with old Christian later. He told me he'd be out tonight. Oh, Edwards, that curveball didn't curve, and Marantino will take first.
Lead off walk.
Okay, so now conversely, we are 2 for 2 on the leadoff batter department
Now
for
batting
Velasquez.
number 45, Angel Velasquez.
Let's see what he's up to.
Velasquez in the first game, flew out, walked, and popped out. And there he goes. Finke the throw. And that's a steal for Marantino.
Pretty convincing steal, in fact. Did a great jump on that. I don't think Finke really had a chance.
Edwards, the 1-0. Velasquez tries the bunt.
Doesn't pull it back in time.
1-1 is the count. Knights improved after that first game to 10-10. 1-10 for Williamson. Edwards keeping the runner honest. Marantino
trying to sneak in for a daylight play.
Unfortunately, I don't have any statistics. There were no statistics on the website for Williamson, so I can't give you a whole lot of context. Great dig there by Finke.
Squared the bunt, pulled back that time. Takes the ball outside. Indeed, great block by Finke.
Two and one is the count here in the top of the second at FNB Field with Paul Miller and Tom Davis for the Nightly News. Velasquez off the plate. They're going to call that a foul. Probably the best case scenario there for the Knights that was not fair, because that probably would have been an easy advance of the runner to third.
It's going to be one of those difficult throwing angles again, too. I don't think we'll see him squaring the bunt now.
You never know, though. I've seen some major leaguers bunt with 2 strikes so far this season.
Major leaguer, sure.
I suppose so. Edwards delivers inside.
I don't think I ever bunted with an aluminum bat to even know what that's like.
Let's go, Kobe!
Edwards runs the count full here.
Full count delivery.
The pitch. Almost had him. Just caught a piece of that.
Fouled in and out of the mitt. Finke. Lights are starting to take a little bit of an effect here. Still got a little bit of daylight left.
Yeah, I would imagine we're probably going to be into the 8:30 hour before they're really going to matter.
Oh, almost. Almost had one down there.
3-2, no one out, a runner on second here in the top of the second inning as the Knights won the first part of the doubleheader 16-0. So far this game's been much more competitive early on. What a pitch there by Edwards.
Great breaking ball.
And Velasquez down on strikes.
Looked like a slider.
Bennett's going to be up to the plate here. One of the bright spots, at least defensively. Bennett walked and struck out in game 1, but defensively had 4 putouts.
Stearns rearranging his outfield a little bit here.
I guess that's one of the tough parts about being in the college level is you just, frankly, other than looking at the stat sheet, there's not really much you can do in terms of scouting.
Yeah, you don't have complex scouting reports. Or analytic data, so to speak.
What a pitch there by Edwards. Interesting that you say that. One of the issues with spring training this year was that some of the spring training stadiums don't have StatCast data. So they weren't even much more than a radar gun is about all they had. Now all major league stadiums have StatCast data, and that's how you get things like exit velocity, launch angle, and those types. But did not have those in spring training at a lot of the Arizona stadiums, apparently.
I would be very surprised if that trend were to continue now,
Oh,
considering
hey, how are you?
that is interesting.
Brian Christiana joining us
Oh
here.
my goodness, Paul, what a great night it is here at F&B Field. What can I say?
Well, you're keeping busy, that's for sure.
Paul Miller, my goal tonight is to lose 5 pounds, and I think I at least lost 3.5 so far.
Brian, it's always a pleasure to have you. Brian was on the call of the first game, did the first ever student broadcast.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, Nightly News Hall of Famer. Look out for a future podcast
I have some
episode.
hecklers yelling at me, Paul. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say.
Check your phone.
Me? How do they have my number? I don't know, Paul, but this is getting a little out of hand. But I'm so thankful to be here today, Paul. And I just love everything that Central Penn does every day. It's great to see you and Tom on the call. I
Well-
mean, Tom's a Mount Carmel guy. I'm a Shamokin guy. What a world we live in.
Schuylkill County, right?
No,
We are
Northumberland.
Coal region rivals.
That is right. I mean, hey, we are the best place on earth. I'm just kidding on that, but it's just great to be here with you guys. It's great to celebrate this with our family, and I'm just so thankful again. I just keep saying thankful, so hey.
That's
Great night.
It's honestly, we continue to say honored, so we're thankful and honored to be here to have this
seriously.
opportunity.
It's so great to see someone. I just saw Todd Milano for the first time since I was a student in 2017.
I saw him as well. I didn't have a chance to talk to him. You know, we're a little busy down here, but
Oh, we know, yes.
but it is nice
What you
to
guys
see
do
people.
every game is so unique and so great for so many parents who don't have the opportunity to see their kids live in person.
And not to mention the players.
Exactly.
The players get to go back and watch the game. Stephen Armstrong can watch that grand slam that he launched in the
Paul,
first game.
I'm not gonna lie, did not see it. I didn't think we were gonna have a home run today, but guess what? We
that
did.
Ball was rough.
He crushed it.
Yeah, what did you say? At least 6 or
At least
7
6
rows.
deep out.
Yeah, and hey, that's the Ollie's Cheap Seats little advertisement there for Ollie's, you know. Hey,
That's what I said.
So,
With the cheap seats.
the cheap seats, yeah. So, hey, again, Nightly News is always the best. Dylan Bowman's kicking some behind today on taking photos. I mean, he is the man around here. I just want to be like him when I grow up.
But Brian, you have grown up.
I know, and that's what I mean. You guys knew me when I was a 19-year-old kid moving into campus. And now,
Now look at you.
I'm 24 and I'm getting old. I think it's time I retire.
You got a long way till that comes around, my friend.
Oh, that's what I mean. You always thought 62 was the age. It seems like everyone's going till they're 70 now. So, hey, I mean, I'm just living the best life I can every day. And just trying to give back to the place that gave me everything I've ever had. So,
It's gonna be a
Can
tough
Davis
play.
make this play? He's got to get the ball home, and he can't do that. That was a really tough play for Davis.
His internal clock was telling him he needed to move and made him nervous, just couldn't field it cleanly. Might have even had a play at home if he could have. but Tough play.
I don't know. It was tough.
well, Paul, this is what we need. We needed a tight game, get the fans involved. It's great to see a lot of good faces here. Got to see Michael Liralimpi here. I mean, him at a baseball game. That is awesome.
Now, Brian, he's been here with us at baseball games multiple times.
Well, I've always been in the booth. I never got to
Oh,
see.
I've got pictures of you and I and Michael Liralimpi at a Senators game at least 2 different times, in 18 and 19 when we
That
did our
is true.
fundraisers
That is
over here.
right. Holy cow. So, again, I'm just having a blast. You guys look like you're having a blast
It's
here.
it's
I mean,
much nicer weather-wise than last time when it was high 30s, low 40s.
I mean,
We were
seriously.
very cold last
Yeah,
time.
and to go back on where Tom and I are from, any kid from up that area dreams of doing something like this. They have to leave the area, unfortunately.
Yep.
And I mean, Central Penn was the closest place that gave me the opportunity that I absolutely love to do. And guess what? Now I get to do it, and every summer with the Barnstormers. And now it's so. I mean, hey, it's just a great environment, great place.
I will say, Brian, we do miss you on the Pennsylvania geography.
Oh my goodness, where?
We've got
So I
tons.
was talking
Yeah, we have
geography
a few
today.
questions for you.
Yeah, Chick-Shinny was the big one today.
Okay.
Chick-Shinny over by Berwick. I mean,
Now, Brian, here's our first question.
All right.
Springfield, PA.
Springfield-
Educate us on that one.
Springfield, PA. I
a
thought
new
that was
one.
Illinois. Oh, is it Philadelphia?
Okay, we got Springfield.
I believe there's technically like a Springfield in every state, and I think that's why the Simpsons named their town Springfield.
How
Oh,
about
Springfield
this
here.
one? We've got a player on Williamson Trade from Chad's Ford, PA.
Chad's Ford. That's by Philly too, isn't it?
Well, that's where Williamson's located. So
Yeah, Chad.
the big strikeout there from Colby Edwards. The Williamson Trade does get a run on the board, but Edwards battles out of that, strikes out the final batter, and we're going to go to the bottom of the second, 1-1.
Calling all gamers. Central Penn College was recently accepted into the National Association of Collegiate Esports. We are now a part of the association that boasts more than 130 schools and 3,000 plus student athletes. If you have any interest in the Central Penn Gaming Club or the esports program, please reach out to club advisors Michael Picotte or Donnie Lewis.
Another one, Michael Pico, Paul.
What a wonderful player he was as
He
a
was.
Saturday
I
night.
love that man to this day. He came on the scenes in what, 2018, 2019?
I think it was.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
even 17 he might have
Even when
been.
every time I see him, puts a huge smile on my face, and another success story, seriously.
He actually just recently received a promotion.
Deserves it. So, but yeah, Paul, again, you guys are doing great things.
And so are you, sir.
Yep, I just try to, as we were saying on the other day, we're living somebody's dream every day, so you got to take advantage of every opportunity you can.
I couldn't be more thankful to have this opportunity to get to call these games here tonight, to represent the college, and just to be here for, as you mentioned, all of the folks who can't be here or who want to watch it some other time.
Yep, so I'm going to keep moving, Paul. Got to go entertain some fans, shake some hands, kiss some babies, you know. Got to do what I do best, so hey.
Well, thank
Enjoy,
you.
sir.
Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. That's all I'm saying.
That's it for Nightly News Hall of Famer Brian Cristiano, but of course we'll hear him in between innings as he's doing the on-field entertainment. Thank you, Brian. All right, here we go, bottom two.
Hitter number 34, Justin Miller.
Justin Miller is an excellent, first pitch swinging,
Hit to left field.
and he's gonna have a single there. I was just gonna say,
Big turn at first.
Justin Miller, the two-way player, hitting 242 on the season, also a pitcher. And I'll tell you, as a lefty, his delivery really reminds me of Carlos Rodon.
Number 7, Jordan Anderson.
We've got number 7, Jordan Anderson up. Jordan Anderson, only 2 at-bats on the season, has walked 4 times. That's not bad. Walked
bunt.
4 times in 6 at-bats.
Caught up. They caught him leaning at first. He was anticipating the bunt, but wasn't the correct pitch to bunt on, so kind of found himself in no man's land.
Jordan Anderson here. Let's see what he can do. Looks like Stern's really trying to get everybody in the lineup tonight, and we're glad to see that. I'm sure this is an opportunity that Jordan Anderson has waited on his entire career. And a good pitch there from Marshall. Brian Rodriguez on deck for the Knights with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. What a beautiful night. This honestly could possibly be the nicest day of the entire year weather-wise.
Could be.
Couple of clouds, but no wind, perfect temperature, no humidity. These are the days you think of every December 20th.
Yes.
Anderson works the walk.
So a 1-out base runner.
Brian Rodriguez now up, hitting in the 9 hole.
Now batting number 57, left fielder, Brian Rodriguez.
Colton Zerby will be up next. Rodriguez, one of the fastest players on this team.
Rodriguez has a 308 average, a 308 on-base percentage, and a 308 slugging percentage.
I'm not entirely sure how that's possible.
Nor am I.
Well, no walks, so that's part of it in terms of the on-base. But I'm actually kind of fascinated by his slugging percentage there, equal to his average. We'll have to look into that.
Yes. Rodriguez in the hole, 0-2. Knights looking to find some of that momentum from last game.
Well, almost other than Roman and Boyer, an entirely new lineup here. So again, that's what I was mentioning. Stern trying to get all of his players some at bats today.
Especially here in front of the home crowd, FMB Field, senior night. Let them all experience it.
Rodriguez, the foul tip. It's just, I can only imagine how the players must feel today, especially after that huge win. Of course, it'd be nice to sweep this doubleheader here. And there he goes. Anderson on the move. Does get in there. Ball gets away, but he would have been safe either way. The stolen base for Anderson. It's almost too bad Miller got picked off because we could be in business here. Rodriguez does strike out to make it 2 outs, but Zerbe could drive this run in.
Colton Zerbe.
Zerbe 0 for 2 on the season with 1 RBI.
And a 2-out hit. Just need a 2-out hit.
So it sounds like Zerbe's got a cheering section here this evening. And Marshall fires. Just outside, though, that is 100% a pitch we saw called a strike in the first game.
I was waiting for the umpire's hand to go up, but pleasantly surprised.
The 1-1.
Keeping an eye on that runner at second.
Off speed.
Boy, that was a tantalizing looking pitch, but
1-1 here. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the second at FNB Field. Knights 10-10. Williamson Trade 1-10. And it, Tom, I got to be honest, that looked exactly like the play that was called a balk in the first game.
It did look rather similar to that.
I would not have called that balk in the first game.
I don't know that I could ever correctly call a balk.
I think there's some pretty blatant ones.
Some. But like on that one, for instance, I don't think I saw it.
Well, I guess it's now appropriate. We can say, let's check the video.
Yes.
Off-speed pitch.
Delayed call
Tough
again.
call there. 3-2 for Zerbe.
The umpire took a minute to process the situation and decided on a strike.
That's going to be outside, and Zerbe will walk.
That'll put 2 on with 2 down in the inning.
Interestingly enough, in the first game, we were talking about how Owen Zell, with only 3 RBI on the season and 15 hits, we wondered if he had much opportunity of having people on base in front of him. Well, here you go. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for Zell. A base hit should score Anderson. Zell singled, stole a base, and scored in the first.
Picks that pitch up a little bit high.
Zell with the 326 average, second on the team behind Adam Hoover. And Zell.
He stayed back on that changeup nicely, just got a piece of it. It was a perfect pitch call in that count. Took just enough off. Let's see what he does here, 1-1.
And Zell.
Curveball.
Marshall's definitely more around the strike zone than the pitchers for Williamson in the first game.
Indeed. Seems to have a little bit more control, trying the corners, north and south, east and west.
Way outside and high.
As we say that, he loses one arm side. Ready for the 3-1.
What can Marshall do here? 3-1 pitch. And he gets the call. Must have got the black, as they say.
Right on the black.
Full count. Runners should be moving. A base hit should score Anderson. And that's going to be low and another walk.
Well, that'll load the bases, a situation the Knights found themselves in multiple times last game. They were able to cash in on those.
3 walks here for Marshall.
That'll bring my namesake to the plate.
Davis flew out to left in the first.
Hoping to deliver. Bases jammed. Bottom of the second in a 1-1 game.
What can Davis do here? A base hit should plate at least 1. Marshall, the 1-0. High for Davis. Well,
Since we started talking about his control, he has lost it a little bit.
3 walks and a single. Did pick off Miller for the first out. Struck out Rodriguez for out number 2. Marshall fires inside. This honestly could be the longest it takes an umpire to call a strike that I have personally ever seen.
Yeah,
Especially on that last one.
Yeah.
Davis straight back, out of play. 2-1. That'll go 2-2 now for Kevon Davis. From Aberdeen, Maryland, but a Braves fan. Although he does follow Baltimore. Told me stories about how he played at Cal Ripken Field.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kevon is also, along with Dalton Kohler, are producers for our basketball broadcasts. So they've gotten some shout outs here. And there they go. And that will be an RBI walk for Davis.
I was a little confused there with all the runners moving. I forgot about the count. Thought we were seeing a steal of home there for a second.
I wasn't honestly sure what was going on, but regardless, I think Davis will take the RBI and putting the game at 2, and now the Knights' best hitter with the bases loaded.
Very big situation here. Looking to bring some runs in.
Just foul. So Roman on the season, a .315 average. Coming into today, a home run and 17 RBIs. Tacked on another one in the first inning, along with his 10th and 11th steals. Impressive freshman season for Shais Roman here, the center fielder. And frankly, offensive MVP.
Let's see what he can do here.
Lays off that curveball, and that'll be
delayed call.
Ball 1. Yeah, it's tough for me to even say if it's a ball or a strike because, you know, we're about 10 feet behind home plate here, so obviously I wouldn't say we have the best vantage point, but a good one. Oh, looking for the headshot. And Roman not too happy about that, nor should he be.
No. Of course, a walk will force in another run here.
And between him and Zach Boyer and Stephen Armstrong, and there's a shot. That's going to clear the
bases. Go all the way to the wall in left center field. We're looking at a triple.
Roman digging for third. Stand-up triple for Shais Roman.
Up 3 RBI triple.
Well, when I mentioned the fact that he wasn't happy that ball came for his head, and the very next pitch, that's what happened. What a shot by Roman all the way to the wall, and showing off his speed, legging out that triple. Now Boyer comes to the plate.
Knights now stake to a 5-1 lead, and they're not done.
Umpire calls for the Knights to, they're a little excited.
Umpire being as pedantic as the one in Tampa. Oh, I'm sorry, Oakland.
That's low and away for Zach Boyer. Boyer coming into the season, or excuse me, coming into this game, leads the team in doubles. For Roman, his first triple on the season, and extends to 21 RBI. And Roman's looking to steal home here, if at all possible. Still 2 outs here All of
this being done with 2 outs.
All of this damage has come, other than Anderson getting on base in the steal. The rest of it is 3 straight walks and a triple. And there's a shot, but that is going to be out of play.
That was smoked.
Good
Again,
thing
we don't have the benefit of seeing exit velocities, but that was smoked.
I'm just going to say 100, maybe more. That's Ohtani level there.
Especially with an aluminum bat. That finished behind him.
I thought for sure that hit him, but Boyer sticks in the box and wants another crack. So Boyer walked in the first. The 3-1. And that is going to walk Boyer back-to-back times with a walk. Did you see the look on Boyer's face?
He's disappointed to draw a walk.
Not overly pleased.
He wanted to swing.
Now is over to you.
I'll bring in Hunter Finke. Catcher. In a big spot here.
Finke flew out in the first to end the inning after the RBI. Finke, a little inside.
Rushed by that ball.
I gotta say, Tom, yes, this has been tough for Marshall, but I gotta say he's been close. I mean, yes, he did walk some folks, but outside, Marshall's falling apart here.
Don't see any action in the bullpen.
Oh, was it? Did he pass the ball? I didn't even see it.
So Shais Roman, the RBI, 3 RBI bases clearing triple with a shot all the way to the wall. And we are dangerously close to batting around. Miller on deck was singled and was picked off to start off this inning. A little on the high side, but probably still a strike.
Yeah.
And I mean,
for him to find the strike zone, if you're thinking you take that pitch.
I see 2 Williamson Trade mechanics running down to the bullpen as we speak.
Going to be some action there.
When did you get home?
Finke selling out for that home run ball, pulled his head and came up empty on that offer.
On the outside
Oh,
pitch.
that's so good. Yeah, I saw Jerry. What's that?
Can Marshall get out of this inning? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2 strikes. I think he just has to look to take it up the middle here. Just
And a huge gap up the middle as well.
cut down the swing and just push it up the middle.
I'm not entirely sure why the shortstop's playing
No, it's good.
kind of cheating that way, but he's got plenty of room up the middle or even to the right
Got
side.
the hole to the right side, too. There it is.
And he struck him out. That's going to do it. But 4 runs come across thanks to that Shais Roman triple. We're going to go to the top of the third. It's 5-1 Knights.
Sports is the place to be.
All right, back here, Paul Miller, Tom Davis for the Nightly News Media Club. We are here in the top of the third inning. It's 5-1 Knights here from FNB Field, the home of the Harrisburg Senators, AA affiliate of the Washington Nationals. Outside for Colby Edwards, as I mentioned that, this is, again, I've been here before, and I'm sure many of you out there have been here before. Such a beautiful stadium. Do everything you can to get out here and see some Senators games. They just opened up last week. Some really exciting players coming up for these Senators. Come out here and check them out. Of course, they play in the Eastern League. Lots of big prospects on other teams as well in the Eastern League. Of course, we play teams like the Guardians, the Yankees, the Orioles, and many others.
The majority of the Orioles' talent is in the minor leagues right now, although most of it is at AAA.
Oh.
So Gualtieri tried to call time, was denied, and then almost took a shot in the helmet. Edwards definitely has some velocity, but
Controls this first
has
batter.
struggled. He did walk 2 pitchers and hit 1, so 3 walks issued, but beautiful pitch right down Broadway, runs the count to 3-1. Stephen Gualtieri.
And now this is the time when baseball is played. The lights are taking effect now. It's been a long winter.
And Gualtieri will walk. So this is now 3 consecutive innings where the leadoff runner has got on. Fortunately, it hasn't bit the Knights too hard, although, of course, last inning, the leadoff runner did come around to score on the Bolton single.
Done a good job of minimizing the damage to this point. You can't get away with that
Fiddle
too many
bus.
times.
And there goes,
And he picked a good pitch to run on.
there goes Gualtieri, but Finke came up a little lame on that one. It almost looked like he maybe hyperextended his shoulder.
Yeah,
So hopefully he's okay. Of course, I'm not speculating on any injuries, nor should I.
It just seemed like the velocity and the location caught him by surprise, snuck up on him.
Well, that and seeing the runner going 2 out of the corner of his eye, maybe he lost focus on the pitch for a moment, but came up with it, so didn't cost the Knights another base. Inside, ball 2. I had to wait a second there to make sure it was going to be called a ball there by the home plate umpire. Can Edwards find the plate? Nice shot. Fiddlebus pops it up. That's going to go to Boyer on the infield and makes out number 1. The pop out for Fiddlebus, which is going to bring up Bond, who flew to Roman in center back in the first. Lots of pop outs. There haven't been a whole lot of ground outs.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too many putouts at first.
Edwards, the pitch. Big cut.
Take a chase like that anyway.
Bond down 0-1. I am just beside my, I know it's difficult because on this shot you can't really see any of the stands, but there's easily 500 people here, and I believe probably closer to 700 throughout the day.
Yeah, the traffic through has been pretty good, and a lot of people have stuck around.
And consistent. So I have seen people come and go, but it's consistently been really solidly packed all the way down the first baseline, all the way down the third baseline. Don't see anyone out in the left or right field stands, but behind home plate is packed. So just a wonderful night for Knights baseball.
Little pop up on the infield here. A little bit of miscommunication.
At least,
hold on to the ball.
at least Boyer comes up with it. Great play by Boyer.
Communicate. I think 15 behind it, but communication stuff.
So we now have 2 down.
Well, if the shortstop calls for it, you really should give it to him. He is the infield captain.
First base, second base.
But he probably should have called for it.
Meeting at the mound.
Pitching change.
This is such a great moment for Colby Edwards in his final game here at FNB Field. Looks like here in the third, Edwards is going to come out. I'm assuming that Stern's doing this in the middle of the inning so he can get a curtain call.
Yep. Good idea.
So
Mr. Hunter, Mr. Finky.
2 2/3 for Edwards, 1 run, 1 hit, and a few walks. But now Adam Hoover comes into the game.
Go up, Mr. Hoover.
4 walks for Edwards, but 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, and a couple of strikeouts. So a dynamic effort for the first half of the game is going to bring in Adam Hoover. Now Hoover has now pitched 4 in 4 contests, 2 starts, 2 wins. 15 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, and a 2.3 ERA. Arguably, between him and Dalton Kohler, our best pitcher. So it's nice to see Hoover coming in here. Obviously, we know it's a quite important game.
There are 2 away in the inning. So we just need to come in here, get the batter, and get the Knights back in the dugout. See if they can push across a few more.
Yeah, so that was really interesting how Stern did take Edwards out there. I do think it was for him to have that curtain call and have that moment, and we give him so much credit here.
Absolutely. That's what a good manager, a good coach does. He makes it about that young man right there.
5-1 here, Knights lead in game 2 after a 16-0 victory. Ryan Stevens, player of the game, 3 hits, no earned, and the victory, the complete game. Stephen Armstrong, a grand slam. And Tom, I have to be honest with you, I've probably called, I don't know, 50 games, never seen a grand slam. So that's a new one.
It was great. Wonderful to be a part of that.
Hoover fires, big swing, and a miss from Gariantes.
Lots of shifting of his feet there in the batter's box trying to get to that. That was strange.
Hoover, can he get us out of this inning? Hoover fires. I like Hoover's. Hoover's got a really over-the-top delivery, and I think when he pitched last time we talked about that. But he's got a really over-the-top delivery, really 12-6 on his delivery.
Yeah.
Which is unique. A lot of guys kind of come 3/4 length, even sidearm to a certain extent.
Watch this hitter. Watch the right foot. Did you see his right foot positioning when he swung that bat?
Zell with the pop-up, and that's going to do it. Well, we're going to go to the the bottom of the third inning. It's 5-1 Knights.
Staying active just got easier. For those striving to be more active, our athletic department has recently launched Sir Will's Rec Rentals, a new initiative that enables students to borrow sports equipment, sign out basketballs, volleyballs, and more to use in our outdoor rec areas. Stop by the Underground to borrow equipment for up to 7 days and get your game on.
Something that, while we have a second, I wanted to talk about here really quickly. The upcoming movie in the CPC film series will be the 2007 version of Hairspray, presented by Nightly News President Janelle Dulac. You can catch the CPC film series starring John Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Zac Efron on Friday, May 13th at 6:30 in the Capitol Blue Cross Theater. Get there early for a special presentation of the Student Keystone Media Awards to multiple club members. In addition, food and snacks will be available for a donation to support the Nightly News. The reason that I wanted to bring that up is because this is going to be a historic night in Nightly News Media Club history, where we will be giving the 6 awards, statewide media awards, and in our division, we compete with schools under 10,000 students, and of course, we are much smaller than that. So it's quite an honor that we've won in 3 categories, and 4 of our students won 1 category, and Leslie Heimbaugh brought home her 2nd and 3rd Pennsylvania News Media
Amazing.
Awards. So it's definitely a night to look forward to. Bottom 3, Miller started off the 2nd with a single, got picked off at 1st, so I'm pretty sure he wants that back. Tom, I gotta be honest with you, a night that we'll never forget.
Oh, most definitely.
For a variety of reasons. Obviously, seeing some victories always makes things a little sweeter. Now, that is a pitch, I gotta tell
I
you.
would have had a hard time not swinging
I
at that
would.
one.
I couldn't take a pitch like that. I really couldn't. Now, that was one of his first curveballs that he's thrown, and first to Miller, so usually you like to see what kind of break it has, so you don't swing out of your shoes.
But that one was sure tantalizing.
And Miller, the cue shot to 2nd. Easy play there for Williamson. And one of the first infield putouts.
An actual putout at first.
The 4-3 if you're scoring at home. You know what, Tom? I think our next, before we call a game next year, we're going to actually find out if people do score at home.
Yes, we should.
I suppose
does right in.
I suppose people do, or else where would that saying have come from?
Exactly.
I mean, it's definitely.
I imagine definitely a long time ago,
Not-
in the early days of baseball, and
I was going to say the same thing. It's probably, you don't find, let me put it this way, you don't find too many people who even know how to score a game anymore.
I would being honest with you, there are parts of it that I've forgotten how to do because it's been so long.
I do keep score of these games, and I'm probably doing it wrong in some cases, but really it's just notes for myself. So I can look back and see what things are doing because, you know, Bob Costas and all those guys, they have numerous monitors in front of them with all types of information. So
producers feeding them info in their ears all the time.
So we do gather all our own information here.
Our own intel, as you might call it.
We do have to keep score of the game, but it's definitely something that if you don't do it regularly, it's tough to pick up.
Yep.
And Anderson, the shot to 3rd. Relatively routine play.
Good job by the first baseman to hold on to the short hop there.
Call that 5-3.
Well, it seems to be moving along. It's a little bit more of a crisp ball game. That's what happens when you don't bat around 3 times in an inning, I suppose.
Well, we did bat around in the 2nd, so. Gonna bring up Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez struck out in the 2nd. Two down here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's 5-1 Knights. Looking to go above 500 for the first time in quite some time. Really, they haven't been 500 since March 22nd.
This would be a perfect game to put them back in that 500. Had to take all the way there on 2-0.
If Marshall somehow could have gotten out of that bases loaded jam, this could be a whole different ballgame because he's definitely hitting the strike zone. Maybe I should say that more often because every time I say that,
we seem to jinx whoever we're talking about.
Zerby on deck, walked and scored. Rodriguez struck out in the 2nd. Way outside, and I gotta be honest, that's not what they wanted to do. Rodriguez, one of the fastest players, not just on our team, but that I've ever seen.
And with 2 outs here, he's, I don't know.
With
if I were Stone, I'm trying to get him into scoring position here with his speed.
With a 4-run lead, I think he runs here.
I think they're going to try to keep him close.
Brian Rodriguez, 4 steals, but has only reached base 8 times. So 4 steals and 8 times getting on base. So that's about a 50% rate. 0 caught stealing as well for Rodriguez.
Extends his lead a little bit more this time. It's a good secondary lead.
Quickly 2 strikes, and now I wonder if I doubt he would be running at this point with 2 strikes. A much larger lead on first for Rodriguez.
If he does get thrown out, that means Zerbe starts the next inning, having seen a few extra pitches.
Excellent point.
So we might see him run here. Nope.
Zerbe to short. Very close play, but does get him, and that will retire the side. 1 left, no runs, no hits. We're going to go to the top of the 4th. It's 5-1 Knights.
All right, baseball fans, let's check this Brian for some scrambled fun. Brian.
And we will be right back. Paul Miller, Tom Davis back here, FNB Field, 5-1, top of the 4th. Hoover, Adam Hoover still on the mound. Colby Edwards pitched 2 2/3 on senior night. Does have a couple of more games here. We do have another home game Tuesday at In the Net. This will be our final broadcast of the year with the Nightly News Media Club.
Foul ball straight back our way.
We're able to call a total of 8 games this year. Of course, we try our very best to get out to as many games as possible. A lot of weather cancellations. In fact, the April 15th game, Tom, was the first game of the season played on the day it was actually scheduled to be played.
Wow.
So yes, it's been a very difficult season all across the board. In fact, I was looking at Williamson Trade's schedule today. They have had 15 postponements. Hence the reason that they're 1-10 at this point and have only played 11 games coming into, and this will be game 12. So a lot of weather issues. We got that late snow in March. It warmed up, but then that snow melted and the fields were covered in mud.
Right.
And there's a shot, but that's high. And that's Rodriguez under it and does make the catch.
It's going to be tough for them. They might not be used to playing in the lights like this. And I got to be honest with you, Paul, they're not the whitest baseballs that they're using either, because they don't have an unlimited supply of baseballs.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. That's such a good point. I guess I'd really never stop to think about if they played under the lights. Though I will say, earlier this week, they played a later game, started at 4 and 6 o'clock. So they did play under the lights earlier this week at Penn State Brandywine, picking up a victory 8-1 and dropping the second game 6-4. So in that second game, they did play under the lights. In fact, that game was going on well past 9 o'clock. So I would imagine it would have been similar, but that doesn't mean that they're experts at doing so. 2-0. And there's a shot, but that's just going to be fouled. Out of play. Rodriguez gives it chase. And you know what? It's funny. I was actually wondering why he was giving it chase, but the amount of ground that he was able to cover so quickly. I mean, honestly, when I look at this outfield right now, this could be the fastest outfield in all of the USCAA.
They certainly do cover some ground out there.
Anderson's already stolen a base. We know about Roman's speed. He legged out a stand-up triple earlier, and Rodriguez, one of the fastest players in all of the conference. So they fisted him, but Boyer the catch. Quickly, 2 down.
Very quickly, 2 away now, yeah.
So last time, 1 walk and then 3 consecutive outs, and now we have 2 consecutive outs here in the top of the 3rd, which is going to bring up Bennett, who popped out to first. Looks like we've got some changes here. Looks like Ricard at 3rd, Humes at first. Still have Zell and Boyer on the infield. And Ricard's giving it a look. Had a shot. Did not come up with that play.
Good effort.
Just off screen. So glad and so appreciative that you can all join us this evening. For Tom Davis, this is Paul Miller from the Nightly News. And one of the fun parts about our job, not that our job isn't wonderful, of course, but definitely one that we look forward to. Bennett,
yeah, if this is considered a day at the office, I'm happy to be at the office. He held on to that ball.
Incredible play by Boyer.
I definitely think they're having some visibility problems with the balls that are going up.
Incredible play. I apologize if that was on screen, but Zach Boyer made an acrobatic catch on that one. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-1 Knights.
Interested in pursuing a career in business, accounting, marketing, or communications? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs in flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu.
And we will be right back. All right, back here, bottom 4, Knights lead 5-1. Owen Zell singled and stole a base and scored, walked and scored, and he's trying to bunt for a base hit here. So Zell 1 for 1 with a steal, 2 runs, and a walk. This is the guy, I got to be honest with you, not even just for the remainder of this season, but moving forward, this leadoff hitter, Owen Zell, he's really the key to the Knights' success. I do like how Stern has found a way to platoon some of these guys and get them some work. When you have a team of this size, frankly, that's one of the toughest parts, is trying to find ways to get people playing time to keep them engaged.
Absolutely.
Of course, you see some, there are 7 players with over 30 at-bats, but then, the rest of the team has another 8 to 10 players have a dozen plus at bats. Zell in the hole, 2 strikes.
Trying to get something started here in the bottom of the 4th.
Right at the shortstop.
Hit hard, hit it right on the screws, but right at 45 at short.
Now, where did that come from? On the screws. Bats don't have screws.
Right, just a shorthand for the thread.
Okay.
The seams.
One out, bottom 4, Knights lead 5-1. Williamson's gutting it out here, though. You got to give him some credit. Definitely not what they were looking for in that first game, but just really struggle offensively. Defensively and even pitching has been okay, but offensively they just can't get anything going.
Right.
Ricard
In a 1-2 count.
in for Davis. So Davis came in, had a walk, and a run batted in. Nice hook.
He keeps hanging in on those curveballs.
Back into the dugout. That's dangerous.
His team giving him some guff.
That honestly could have been very dangerous, though. Marshall, that's going to be outside.
By about 3 feet. 2-2.
Marshall's been hanging in there, really, other than that second inning, has been pretty efficient. The first inning, he allowed a single and a run score, but got out of it with really not much else. That second inning that batted around, that was the issue. And of course, the bases clearing triple from Roman. And he strikes out
Another
Ricard.
delayed call on a ball that looked like it was like 7 inches off the plate.
Ricard down on strikes. Roman's going to come up again. Did strike out in the first, but the triple, the bases clearing triple, really showing his speed. And I have to be honest, obviously we knew he was fast with the 11 stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever seen somebody make it to third that quickly at this level?
He was flying. Stand up.
Nice curveball. That's going to be popped to right. Should be a rather routine play, but you never know. One of the biggest things that has happened to Knights athletics this year is the opportunity on deck. At Central Penn, opportunity is on deck for our baseball athletes in major ways in 2022. As we work hard to get our baseball athletes back on track, we want you to join us in showing what these
I need you all
athletes
to
mean
get
to
on
us.
your feet. It's time to get groovy.
All right, back at it. I did want to talk this half inning about the opportunity on deck. I know I set it up for everybody. One of the things that we've been trying to do here at Central Penn is support our athletics. So recently we started some fundraising for the Knights athletics programs, and you see both jerseys that were gotten this year as part of that opportunity on deck that supports our athletes, as this is going to be a really tough play for Ricard, but bang, bang play.
Nice play.
Impressive play from Ricard and from Humes,
Yeah,
both
good stretch by Humes there.
new to this ball game. So Bolton thrown out 5-3 here in the fifth. But one of the things
Now
is
batting number 27, designated hitter, Joe Ackroyd.
top of the order for Ackroyd. Small but generous gifts can fuel change for our programs. Just this year, we've raised $3,300 for players' gear, and this gear will be theirs to keep. So if you would like to help contribute to the Central Penn Knights athletics, go to givebutter.com/CPCdeck. That will continue supporting our Knights athletes, from baseball, soccer, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, and women's volleyball, the 6 sports that we have here at Central Penn. Boyer, nice play at short. Good play by Humes. Defensively, this has been quite impressive for the Knights.
Speaking to our keys to success right there, there was a nice, hard, crisp hit ground ball to short, fielded cleanly.
Well, let's come
towards the
back.
out.
Let's come back to those keys to success. Obviously, the first one was keeping those leadoff runners off of base. The first inning, we did not do that, but got around it. The second inning, we also did not do that, and that runner did score. Inning 3, Edwards did allow a leadoff walk, but 1-2-3 right after that. And of course, last inning, Hoover got out went 1-2-3, and here has got the first 2 outs. So far, so good on that respect. But the defense here, Tom, has been quite incredible.
Very crisp.
Quickly 2 down for Hoover.
Knights have fielded, basically handled every fly ball cleanly, except for some difficulties in the last inning, but even those balls were held onto.
Big swing there for number 13, Galtieri.
I mean, I can remember the very first game I played under the lights, and that wasn't, professional lighting. That was like Little League lighting, and it is different. And
Hoover the 1-2, little low.
if the balls get slightly muddy, they got a little bit of a brown color to them, it just makes it that much harder. If you take your eye off the ball, you might lose it. Just an additional factor now.
Hoover the 2-2. Right at Ricard, and that's 3 up, 3 down for back-to-back innings. Hoover is on fire, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-1 Knights.
Tired of having less mobility and not sure why? Experiencing aches and pains that limit your regular routine? Injuries are never scheduled, but you can feel better with Select Physical Therapy. To find a convenient location or schedule an appointment today, visit selectphysicaltherapy.com.
And we appreciate Select are the trainers that come out here to support the Knights, so we appreciate all of their hard work. All right, we'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th. Back here, FNB Field. Boyer just inside the third baseline. Boyer, the single to start off this inning. Actually, he's going to leg it out for 2.
Leg that out in a double.
And that just shows you a well-coached team there. Last Friday, it was a tough sledding against Bucks County Community College, but they fought back, and that just goes to show you. So
Finke will step in here with a runner in scoring position.
Flew out to right and struck out in innings 1 and 2. Big hook there. And a 1 strike. Finke $269 on the season.
Just a little late, just managed to slap that foul.
I will say Finke, no RBI on the year. I'm sure he would like to change that. Also hasn't scored any runs either.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to get off the schneid here. Nice crisp single somewhere is probably going to get him an RBI.
With Boyer's speed, I'd say that's almost guaranteed. Boyer's breaking for third.
Good heads-up base running there. He pretty much went on the first bobble. So they can score a run without the benefit of a hit now. Finke's just got to try to hit this to the right side. Hits it to the left side.
Finke is out.
Unfortunately, hit that to the left side. Runner had to hold at third.
Now batting number 34, designated hitter, Justin Miller.
Temperature slowly starting to drop down. Still in the low 60s, but
I'll take it.
it's a ticking down.
Marshall has been certainly commendable here. Only 4 hits for the Knights. Miller singled and was picked off back in the second and grounded out 4-3 in the third. Looks like Zaheem Lewis on deck for Anderson. High. Runs the count to 2-0. Inside, 3-0.
Well, he's going to be taken all the way here unless it's in his happy zone. Dial and just look for like one quadrant, and if it's there, you let it fly. If it's not, yeah. He was pretty intent on not swinging there.
Also intent on taking the walk, but unfortunately neither of them went well.
He had to come back.
Miller now not going to be taking here. Does not, but quickly 2 strikes. Started off 3-0 and now run the count to 3-2.
Very likely swung at ball 4, but you have to protect in this count. So.
I don't know. With this umpire, I think that would have been a strike.
That's that factor too, right?
3-2, full count. And there's a shot to left. Boyer should be able to tag here, and he's going to. Good throw, but off track. Boyer almost got tugged out there.
He did. That was a sneaky throw. But deep enough to score the run. So the Knights scratch across another and take a 6-1 lead.
Now batting number 15, Zaheem Lewis.
Zaheem Lewis. Nice to see Lewis in there. Lewis this season, 1 for 4, 250 average. Lewis for Anderson, for those of you scoring at home.
Swings and misses. starts off with a strike. 2 outs, bases empty. Knights with a run in this inning. I think we might actually see a 7-inning game this time.
It does appear so. Well, at least the 6.5 inning game.
Yes.
Lewis to second, and that will retire the side. But the Knights push another run with a Zach Boyer double and a sacrifice fly, and we will go to the top of the 6th. It's 6-1 Knights.
Central Penn College continues to roll out short-term certificate programs, both credit-based and non-credit, that enable students to gain valuable school-specific knowledge.
The first base side is the place to be.
Back at it. Well, all right, we are back at it here for the top of the 6th. So Fiddlebus comes up here, flew out to center, popped out to short. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Only 1 hit for Williamson Trade. That would be Bolton, who singled and drove in a run back in the 2nd. Pretty incredible display of pitching here. Certainly in the first game offensively. Even here, they've been. This is a little bit more scrappy version of the team.
Yeah. This has been a better game to watch, I guess, from the point of view of a fan. As a disinterested fan, as an interested fan, of course, you loved that first game because the Knights came away with a spectacular victory.
And the spectacular Grand Slam.
Baseball, you know, you want to see the games played a little closer. You want them to be more competitive.
More cleanly.
Yeah.
Struck him out, Adam Hoover.
The umpire enjoyed ringing him up on that.
Tom, I don't want to speak now, but that's 9 in a row for Hoover.
Now that you spoke, let's see what happens with the next batter.
Because he came in, he got the last of the 3rd. Well, 1, 2, 3, both of the last 2 innings started this inning out with a strikeout. And there's a shot in right, and he gets him. Good catch by Zahin Lewis.
He hangs on to it.
Now that
popped out of his glove and he caught it with his bare hand.
Now that is 9 in a row. He had 8 in a row. That's 9 in a row. What a play by Lewis.
So now there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning.
Interestingly enough,
Williamson Trade running out of outs.
We're going to play a full game here. We're probably going to come in under what the last game was.
Right.
So Garriantes, the pitcher, 0 for 2 today, and that's a shot to left. And Hoover did have 9 in a row, but does leave a single up there.
He left that pitch up a little bit, fastball up in the zone. The big guy was just looking for something to turn on, and he found one.
Hoover has had a really incredible season. A 2.30 ERA with 2 victories. The lowest ERA on the team. He's got the highest average. He's got the highest on-base percentage. He has 14 walks. He's got to be near 600 on-base percentage. And for again, I know there might be some people out there that might not be overly knowledgeable about the game. That means
That's pretty
he's
good.
getting on base 6 out of 10 times.
Means he's pretty good, folks.
So Hoover, numbers-wise, one of the top hitters. Numbers-wise, one of the top pitchers. So clearly one of our stronger players is Adam Hoover.
So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
All right. We're going to take a quick break here, but we'll be back here with you at the bottom of the 6th here for the Knights. All right, Canales will take off. Our pinch hit for Rodriguez here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-1 Knights. Canales' first at bat on the afternoon/evening. When do we go from afternoon to evening?
Yeah, it's always been a real debate, right? I've always considered 5:30 to be like dinner time, start of evening.
Fair enough.
But like 4:35 is still late. At 4:35 o'clock, still late, like the very end of afternoon for me.
Interestingly enough, the old Bruce Bond late afternoon show went from 3 to 7.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's any gauge.
Yeah.
Certainly 7 is evening, but
If you think about it in terms of like how many hours you're awake too, depending on what time you get up in the morning and until you hit noon, right? How many hours after noon is your next, like if it was 4 hours, then afternoon you go to 4 o'clock.
almost sort of reminds us of a blowout game, the way these subjects come up.
Yeah.
But it's still competitive, and the Knights still have to be careful.
Now batting number 8.
Yeah,
Dominique
just for another
Hughes.
run roll situation, we might be talking about like rebar or something.
Hume's up to the plate for his first at bat. He made some really nice plays in the field so far.
He did. I always like to see him with a short, compact swing and get to the ball. He's more successful when he doesn't let that swing get too long. He'll give me a long look whenever I say that to him, but he understands.
Do you get to talk to him much about it?
I haven't gotten to talk to him recently, but he was a student of mine in previous terms, and I would remind him every now and then. Shorten that swing, buddy.
2-1 the counts from Marshall. Hoover has been dominant here. Only one hit and retired 10 of 11 since he's entered this game. And in line for the victory at this point. Beautiful swing, but just could
Big
not connect.
Swing and a miss.
Well, he's got only one strike. I mean,
The swing almost reminds me of Juan Franco's. Except he doesn't have the same stance, but he has that kind of swing pattern.
there was a shortened swing.
Yep, 2 strikes, I like to see that. Starting to clear out a little bit now.
And a shot to center.
That's going to get down.
That'll get down, and that should be a double, if not more. Collision in center second and third.
Gets
Canales.
away, so a run is going to score.
Canales ran through the stop sign.
I think because he caught wind of the center fielder missed the ball. Or sorry, the throw that came in wasn't handled by the second baseman. So 7-1 Knights.
What a night here at FNB Field.
Now batting number
And that's going to do it.
Ryan Stevens.
That'll do it for Marshall. You feel bad for Marshall, who gutted it out and only gave up 5 hits, but 7 runs.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a minute after this pitching change. All right, player of the game, co-player of the game for game 1, Ryan Stevens gets his first at bat here.
In the bottom of the 6th inning.
And this is back to the top of the order, so Stevens for Zell, for those of you keeping score at home. It's only the 4th or 5th time I've used that today.
At least.
And
I've chimed in each time too.
I haven't been trying to bust it out too much.
Got my first chill of the evening.
Down to 61 here on the big board. Beautiful way to spend a Friday night. Thank you all for joining us here. Nightly News Media Club, Paul Miller, Tom Davis. That ball's going to get away. Humes will take third on the pass ball.
Don't even need to hit the score run now. Yeah, and I've noticed too that if you look at the flags out in center field, there is no wind blowing.
Which was one of the good things, because last time we were here, it was so windy, and it was very difficult. I mean, we
brought the temperatures down,
Yeah.
having all that wind. The real feel, as they say. It was much colder.
Stevens to third. Tough hop off the grass, and Stevens is fast. We'll give him a base hit there. And the RBI. Well, quickly, 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Runs the score to 8-1.
Now batting number 25,
Ricard struck out in the 4th and has won it back. And Shais Roman on deck. Should get up here and definitely will get up here because there's nobody out.
Fastball up at the head on the inside. How'd your Cubs do today?
Haven't seen.
Baltimore doesn't play till 9:40, so.
Ricard, it's tough play. And now
Shortstop jumps up and down in frustration, but he wasn't going to. That was going to be a tough play for him to backhand and throw him out anyway. That was just one of those perfectly placed little grounders there. With just enough, hit just slowly enough.
4 consecutive Knights have reached base. Hayes is going to run for Stevens. Stern trying to get all his players in. And up to Shais Roman. Hit that big triple after striking out in the 1st. Clearing the bases in the 2nd. Popped out 1 for 3 on the day, but 3 big RBIs that broke this game wide open.
If they score these 2 runs, I guess the game would end right there, wouldn't it?
I can't comment, and after last game, I'd prefer not to.
Yeah, who knows? We might actually be in the 3rd inning.
I think a lot of it also has to do, and I've seen coaches agree with one another if the game is over. So sometimes there are rules, but I think sometimes it's also manager agreements.
That would put it at, well,
10.
no, they'd need 3 more runs. I'm sorry. I did some incorrect math there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, we're not math professors.
No, we are not.
I tell people that all the time. I say something and they're like, well, you're a professor. I say, well, I'm not a math professor.
Not a professor of math. Or mathematical thinking.
What can Roman do here? The pitch. Right down Broadway and takes that one for 2-1. Still a lively crowd here, and actually,
Yeah,
I would
a lot
say
of them hung on.
I would say at least half of the crowd that was here at the beginning of the game still here. Roman straight
Down
back.
the 3rd baseline, there's still a lot of folks sitting right there. Just in front of our concession stand.
Let's give a shout out to Adrian Thoman, Leanna Varnack, Lindsay Garber. They did an unbelievable job. I don't think they've realized how much food they were going to sell today.
Considering the great turnout, they did great.
This is going to be a really tough play here, but he takes the first force out at 3rd, getting Desir Hayes on the fielder's choice for Roman.
Now batting, shortstop number 14, Zach Boyer.
Boyer, that double and scored, reached base 3 times thus far with 2
On-base
walks,
machine.
and has made some unbelievable defensive play. Couple of really nice putouts and a wonderful diving catch out in short left. Back in
Had
the
himself
4th.
a ball game, that's for sure.
Way outside and high. Well, regardless of what happens here, if the Knights close them down in the top of the 7th, that'll do it. Adam Hoover, been impressive. I'm imagining he's going to go out there for the 9th. And there is a shot to deep center field. And that is going to reach the wall. I'll tell you what, Boyer could dig for home. And Stern is not going to let him dig for home. Does have the triple.
That'll make it 10-1 Knights. With the 11th run 90 feet away and less than 2 outs.
What a shot from Boyer.
Yeah, I could tell that was going to go, and the left fielder was turned the wrong, or the center fielder was turned the wrong way. The ball went behind him. Tough read when the ball's right at you in center field.
Can Finke get off the schneid?
It's amazing. Those are often the hardest plays for outfielders. So the ball's right, you know, unless it's right at them in like, but especially your center fielder.
Finke 0 for 3 tonight. And one of the few starters still in this ball game. And that's going to be a tough play to first, and that's going to score a run.
I guess that'll technically do it.
And it looks like
11th run.
that is going to do it. Well, I got to be honest with you. It was really a close game up here until the 6th inning. But for gosh sakes, Tom, it's been such a pleasure to get to call this today with you.
Wonderful finale.
This great weekend here. We want to thank
Nightly News Player of the Game to Shais Roman. Shais, that 3-run triple back in the second really opened this game up and also scored a run here in the 6th. So, what a contest, what a day. It's such what a wonderful day for Knights baseball. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Tom, and
Thank you for having me again for this.
Milano is our Knight of the Night, former Central Penn College president. Thank you for coming out tonight, Mr. Milano. We appreciate you and appreciate all that you've done.
Tom Milano, the Knight of the Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, have safe travel tonight with us. And lastly, let's go Knights!
All right, well, Tom, any parting thoughts here? It was an impressive all the way around, both pitching and offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I didn't expect that second game to get away so quickly like that.
And we give a nice send-off to Colby Edwards, who still has a few games left. But, well, I'll tell you what, that is going to do it. We are so happy and so honored to have been with you this year for Knights Baseball. We'll be back here with you next year for Knights Baseball. And, of course, tune back in this fall for Knights Basketball. Until then, thank you very much for joining us. This is Paul